All right, family. I appreciate your patience. I hear the jokes. They like, Rich, we on the right timeline. What timeline you on? All right. Part of my voice, I didn't. My voice is still a little hoarse. Remember last time I was getting a little under the weather, so part of my voice tonight. I'm gonna do the best I can, but I need the drinks. I've been drinking tea, honey, cayenne pepper, so just take a little time, y'all. But shout out to everybody. Thank you for your patience. It's Friday night. We're gonna have a great show. I got some amazing guests that have been there plenty of times. Today's a special show, though. It's a special occasion. It's a special show, and it's a special timeline that's taking place right now. So, with that being said, I don't have an intro. Let me see. No, I'm not playing a commercial today. So, without further ado, let me welcome Back in Black to the platform. Black Dot, the Black Dot, the
Peace.
Black Dot, and
Peace.
Red Pillar
Peace.
44.
Peace.
My brother. Welcome back, y'all.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Thank you for having us.
Build with the gods. Always.
Indeed. It's woo, man. Wow. The energy in the ear is a little different right now, y'all. It's a little, maybe it's a lot different. Maybe it's a lot different in the air right now. And depending on your level of consciousness before this election, after the election, your vibration went down or it went up?
Right.
Or
Right.
A
it
split.
seems like, yeah, nobody stayed the same. After this, you either went into a higher level or you went down to a lower level. And just because you call yourself conscious, y'all, don't mean you went to the higher level, as we see from the people who was majorly emotionally affected by who's in charge of the matrix.
Yes.
We all know
Right.
we're in charge of our individual matrix.
Right.
With that being said, I want to show one thing and then we're going to get into the show. I'm a little late, so I want people to line up in the room. We already got about 800 people. Tell your friends that we live right now. I know I got some of the Urban X. I know I got some of the Know the Legends out here. The Black Magic fan, the 363 family. Y'all see I changed my name to Radiohead Rich. You know what I mean? All right, so let me start like this, y'all, to start this question out. Let me just show this real quick. I wish I had a bigger picture of this, but I hope y'all can see this good. This might be too small. All right, so with consciousness, Black Dot, Red Pillar, with the consciousness on YouTube is hot right now. There's a lot of speakers talking ascension, galactic, 5D type shit.
Right.
Golden age type shit, age of Aquarius type shit. So the common perception of people, to me, is similar to this diagram of success that we see shared all over the internet. And a lot of people assume the ascension process, once they get into the books, read a few listen to a few speakers, do some meditation, take some shrooms, the conscious pack. Take some shrooms,
The starter pack.
some DMT, ayahuasca. They put on a special type of clothes. They go through a ceremony or something. They think their ascension process is going to look like that straight line right there.
Mm.
So a lot of people assume Kamala was going to win because they thought her winning was a part of this straight line. It was ushering into the divine feminine and this and that, and it was the signal and all types of shit. So when that line started curving a little bit, they got real lost. They got real confused. Some people crashed out. Some people disappeared. A lot of different things happened. But this thing ain't an easy thing that we're on. Me, Red Pill, have talked about it a long time, family. A lot of people don't even last long in this thing. 5 years is great if a person is able to last. But where we're going, we all, me, Dot, Red Pill family, we've all been through these squiggly lines here.
That's
the
right.
ups, the down, the sides, the 90 degrees, 80, 75, 60, 55 degree, 40 degree.
Facts.
And I'm trying to make this fast, but I remember one time, I think when I turned 30, around 30 is your Saturn return. And I was so confused at 30. My mom just died at 28, and I had a little rough spell after my mom passed. And I remember specifically, I'm in Central Park, and I just dropped to my knees, and I'm like, and I told this story, and I'm like, damn, I need answers. I'm like, I don't understand this shit. And I dropped to my knees. It was snowing outside. I dropped to my knees, and I'm like, so I understand this. I understand this path right here, ladies and gentlemen. Saying that to say, I'm not surprised what happened. We've all prayed for things, and it came in the weirdest of ways. We prayed for $1 million, and some people get fired from their job, not because bad things is happening to them, but because that's the direction of that $1 million job. These squiggly lines is the direction to the golden age, family. Please don't get depressed because the Kamala or the Democrats or whatever you thought wasn't going to happen, what's going to happen didn't happen. It's absolutely magnificent. It's lit in the cosmic world and the inner world. And with that being said, I want to talk to Red Pill and Black Dot to start out with this timeline. Some people are a little lost, y'all. Some people are a little confused. It seems like the right wingers, the white boys, is running shit right now. It look like they running. Candace Owens has shared more. She shared like she's Shahrazad Ali right now from these conscious people. They looking at her like the empress of this motherfucker. So the timeline is a little weird right now, but success gets a little weird sometimes. With that being said, Red Pill, Black Dot, if you would, please elaborate on that as we start this conversation tonight.
Red.
Yes. So, first and foremost, as we all do know, all is mental, right? So life is what you make it. It's a perception-based reality. And what you perceive is what you believe. And what we knew from and what we were taught starting out in consciousness from the gate is that we never believed in politics or what they call politricks and whatnot. We never put our faith in it. And it was a understanding rule inside of this community that none of us were to be political unless the opponent or the candidate was one of us. Okay. So what we saw take place the other day is the fact that people decided that collectively they decided what timeline they wanted to shift into, right? And this is the timeline that we're existing in right now. Okay. And this timeline that we're existing in right now, contrary to popular belief, this is in alignment with the quote unquote writings and the quote unquote, the prophecy of the Aquarian age. And this is also in alignment with what they call Kali Yuga. You know what I mean? And we're going to have to make it through this timeline. We're gonna have to see the silver lining in this timeline. The silver lining in the timeline is showing itself without us even having to quote unquote, do anything. It only takes common sense to say, all right, you see how reality is showing itself right now. You see the things that are taking place in this quote unquote reality. Now you have the option to say, well, what if? You have the option to use the what if. Now, what if she won? What would we be seeing in the quote unquote in this space, just based off of the actions of not anyone else, but just her, right? Just her alone. You were able to see the fact that she was a sore loser. And that speaks to the number one rule moving into a new reality, or what they call 4-dimensional reality, and that is authenticity. Okay. And that's character, and that's also integrity. Outside of what you could say about the villain, right? The Joker, outside of what you could say about the villain, Bane, Donald Trump, right? They still have a level of authenticity, and even his integrity about being a villain is intact.
Yes.
He didn't try to get up there and play around with y'all and act like he was innocent and he was some type of, a bringer of peace and light and whatnot. He stayed fully in character, true to himself, true to his authenticity, found a base to speak to, connected with it. And those people who we were told and we were taught that there's a silent kingdom, or what they call an invisible empire, right? These people are not braggadocious and they're not wearing everything on their sleeve, but you saw a coup d'etat take place on a Democratic Party, and it was very silent. So now we're here. And I remember each one of us were activated. We met each other in a Republican administration most notably George W. underneath 9/11 and things of that nature. We
Mm.
survived through multiple Republican administrations and whatnot. And from my memory, if my memory serves me correct, our community was more intact during those administrations. They were more disciplined. They were more focused because you understood that the stakes were very high. You were not, quote unquote, rocked to sleep. You were not lollygagging. You were handling business on all scales, and organizing and bringing our people together for the greater good was an easier task.
No, real talk, real talk. And I appreciate exactly what you said, because you're lining up what I wanted to add back to the graph that you showed, Rich, a straight line. Nothing is ever that easy in life. The hero's journey that we are all on, how would it be if you just had no challenges, nothing to face, no obstacles, no roads, no paths that you had to deal with? Then you would be on a straight line to nowhere. You know what I mean? And so what builds that character that Red is talking about, what builds that integrity, what builds your enlightenment is the suffering, is the pain, is the everything that you go through, so that when the shift comes, and the shift is here, that you are prepared to subtly, move on to what's next. And what you're seeing under that are those who held on to a specific idea and concept that they cannot let go.
Hope of me.
Spoken about that change and birth is violent, because the comfortability breeds, being docile and having those do the thinking for you. That era is gone now. And we are in a state and place now where you're going to have to man up, woman up, and do what is necessary, because that new time is already here. And so when you're sitting back watching, like you said, those who are supposed to be conscious, that goes to show you that this consciousness that we speak of, there's an outer shell, which a lot of people wear and they're able to fool you. And then there's an inner shell, an inner being, an inner knowing that has nothing to do with the external world. And events like this are agitators of the timeline you're in and your reality, to show you who's going to dissipate out of the way, who is emotionally, this blew my mind. We're emotionally charged over presidential candidates that have nothing to do with our existence. There are people in your family who told you to lose their number. They're blocking people, all of this craziness. And I'm going, wow. On one level, I'm saying, wow. But on another level, Red and Rich, I'm going, So this is great, because this is what we get to see, in its totality.
And we've been shown this, right? Consecutively since 2020. And we cannot act like we have not been seeing the tests taking place in front of our eyes and whatnot. And people we're all coming to a point where we're all being tested collectively. You could talk that talk, but you got to be able to live it. That's what 2024 is about. That's what 2020 was about. You could talk it, but you're going to be tested. Not tested in a way where you could cheat on the test. You're going to be tested in a way where it's a choice of taking a left turn or a right turn. Some people was like, yo, I'm all of this. I'm into this. I'm into that. And they was like, if you don't take that poison, you're going to lose your job. Where do you want me to stick it? You understand? Right. Everything that Bobby said, everything that Sabi said, everything that Phil said, all of the teachings went right out of the window, because when it was time to prove that you were indeed a card carrying member of this quote unquote, of this administration, right? Because you're casting a vote. You're voting, you're casting a vote. They were taking us to the toll every year. First, it was, are you going to put the mask on? Then, are you going to stay in the house? Then, are you going to distance yourself and play this game that we playing? Then, are you going to poison yourself? Then, it was a litany of things and tests. We had friends crash out. We had loved ones crash out. Some people had what they call wives and girlfriends and husbands and boyfriends. They crashed out. It's been going crazy, right? This is the latest example of the universe showing everybody collectively to say, I'm not going to cherry pick one another. I'm going to just hit y'all with these tests. And when the smoke clears, we're going to see who's still standing on what? Authenticity. Because we are very forgiving as a community. We let a lot of people come around and come in and continue to get on these platforms and spew, you know, non-provable, alt facts.
Yes.
Right. But we got to start taking a toll of how many people are failing the test. We are all collectively being tested and whatnot. Nobody's going to hold your hand. Nobody can help you. You can't cheat on the test. You ultimately have to make that decision. And there's going to be a bigger test that's coming on down. This is just dress rehearsal. There's some bigger shit that's going to happen where the choice is going to be get on the craft or stay right here type shit.
Yes. Yes.
Follow that light that's coming down, or you keep your monkey ass in the projects. You know what I'm saying? In the Matrix.
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy? And I'm glad that was an amazing point, Red. And the whole 2020 thing and 2024, the next 4 years, 2024, both of them show me that skin folk ain't kinfolk.
Oh yeah, man.
Like, bro, like
these
niggas will turn on you fast, bro. And you like, oh shit, my brother, my sister. Man, listen, man. When the going gets tough,
man, they showing their fangs. It is no longer.
And I'm not on my can't we all just get along shit. I'm not saying I'm not. I'm just saying all skin folk ain't kinfolk. It's painfully obvious at this point.
Very much so.
And I want to add to that because what we have to understand, this is a test that's above the elite. The elite, there are no elite people controlling you. They're trying to hold a position for themselves. And if you follow in with that, you in with that. The universe is doing what the universe does. And it is a process that it's coming, it's here. You can do nothing about it, but be on the right side or in alignment to be able to endure, or you get washed away with everything else. It's the way it goes.
Plain and simple at this point. They are showing you, right? Plain and simple. The age of celebrity died in front of you.
Right in front of our eyes.
It took 4 years. It took 4 years.
What about mainstream media, Red? What about them?
Dead like a doornail. Rachel Maddow, you know what I'm saying? Let's do a second line for her and Joy Reid's hairline.
Done.
Yeah.
Done. Look, media died after a big pharma. They died, but they were about to die, right? Homie is coming to put the last stake in them. But media and medicine died. Blue Pill pointed out they died during the messed up walkie-walkie. And for the people that stayed and was like, we not doing it. We unsullied and whatnot. How many lawsuits are coming out where people are getting their bag? How many people are getting their back pay and whatnot? Right?
Yes.
How many companies are now being able to be sued? And when homie come in, when 47 comes in, he's going to completely dismantle whatever protection certain people had. And we're going to see things happen in ways that we haven't seen before. So going back to the initial conversation about authenticity versus the Matrix, because what you pointed out, Rich, where people was changing up in front of you that was right next to you, that's the Matrix scene with Agent Smith.
Bro, listen, I said this story
where that movie wiped out the whole concepts of color, and it was also the other movie Surrogate, where the leader was the goddamn cyborg. Remember Ving Rhames with the locks?
Yes,
he was the agent the whole time. So the Matrix showed you when you wake up, when you unplug, when you on your Matrix shit for real, when you really about that life, because we are not just being tested to see where our faith is at, we being tested to be rewarded in the ethers.
Facts.
And when you pass that test, you now are able to walk through these quote unquote veils. You're breaking the seal and you're going to the next, you're going to higher levels and dimensions. Like Rich said earlier, I promise you, there are going to be some people missing.
Yep.
This is a good way to test people now. And the movie Inception showed you with the spinning top. When you meet people that seem like they off, ask them, who is your president? And if they say Kamala, that means that that's the group of people who woke up on November the 6th on a different timeline, not on your timeline, because there's people walking this earth right now who are like, yo, nah, she got elected. What you talking about? That's my president.
Mm-hmm. And speaking back to authenticity, Rich, I'll give you a second. Nothing about Kamala's vibration spoke of authenticity. You understand my point?
Yes.
Everything about her spoke, from the collard greens in the bathtub to the change in the morphine of voice. Nothing spoke of authenticity. And that's why they kept trying to push this black thing on you in hopes that you can accept what is not authentic to you. And once you accept it, it becomes real. And we kept kicking back and saying something is not right here. You know what I'm saying? And then when you throw in the celebrities, see, 10 years ago, that whole celebrity thing would have worked, right?
It would have worked, right?
I've never seen so many celebrities wheeled out at one time. And we was like, none of this matters to us. We are in a new timeline, because just because you're a celebrity don't make you better than me. It makes you more talented within a specific field. We are now casting that, and the people who are holding on to that and saying, well, J-Lo is endorsing her, and this one, you are demonstrating that you are not ready to make that leap yet. It's not a right or wrong thing.
Right, you're just not ready.
You're just not ready.
The new celebrities come from here, bro.
Yes.
Dot, real quick. Dot, real quick. The what's crazy is the King and LeBron. That's my, I absolutely love LeBron. Amazing inspiration, right? Love the brother for what he did. His image. I'm a family man, and I like the fact that he represents the family man. That's my vibration.
Yeah.
The dude, when he endorsed Kamala, and keep in mind, family, we got about 3,000 people in here already. I'm not a Trump fan. Last show I done talk all types of shit about Trump. We gonna get on Trump in a second.
Right.
But I got it in for the Democrats. I ain't gonna lie. I got it in. But listen, King James, when he endorsed Kamala, about 90% of his comments at his Instagram were negative. They was chewing him alive.
Yes.
The celebrity shit failed so horribly.
It's done.
So horribly. That's
miserably.
Over with.
Miserably. Right?
Miserably. Yes. Miserably. And that's a great thing for us, because it is in alignment with what we saw on November 5th, was the end of a political era and a crime syndicate conducted by the Republicans and the Democrats together. We're seeing the end of the music industry as we knew it, the movie industry, the entertainment industry. I don't even watch sports the way I used to. Right? I may tune the game in, I may not. All of these are signs that none of that stuff matters as it used to. And that's not going to be what keeps the prison over the new ones or the new beings who decided to move above that. Crazy. I'm loving it though. I'm loving it.
Dot, you said something earlier. I mean, this is I'm loving this conversation. Like, I done had 20 different questions pop up and leave in 20. Like, when y'all talk, like, shit's coming in my mind. Like, I'm activated. Do y'all feel the electric? No, I want to be honest. Real
magnetic.
Quick. Y'all feel the electricity in the air right now?
Electromagnetic.
I'm talking about during this show right now. There's 3,000 people.
Absolutely.
Do y'all feel the electricity?
Absolutely.
I feel this shit, y'all.
I couldn't wait for this show to start.
Come on, man.
In the middle of the night, fam, in the middle of the night, I'm having these itchy outbursts for no reason at all. I'm having this ringing in my ear for no reason at all. And I know what it is. When we think about timeline shift, a lot of people think they thinking too literal. Like, there's going to be a timeline going this way. Like a train and jump on that timeline. That's not the way it goes. It's your consciousness, your energy. It's subtle, but there will be reverberating effects on your physical as you shift. Guys, I want to say this, and then I'm going to give it back to you. We are entering into a time now where you can literally heal yourself with your mind and your mind only. Hold on. Our ancestors always taught us All disease begins in the mind. The mind exists outside of the body. What's happening now is, and this is nothing against all my herbalists, I love them all, the ones who are really true to what they do, but the earth is drying up. The soil in that timeline is drying up. So the herbs are not as strong. The water you drink, unless you drink in premium water, it don't quench your thirst anymore. You ever notice that? It's just like you have the food. Let me not even get on the food. Like that's just, you're eating out of force of habit now. And when you tie in the way Kamala tried to roll out those celebrities, it's all indicating that we are in a new timeline and space. And so now you always could heal yourself mentally, but now the faculties which are tying into that will give you the ability to do it. It's not because the herbs aren't good, it's just that the soil that produced that is dying out. This new soil and new land is in a different space, and I am a walking testament of you. I'm telling you what I know. You know what I mean? And so we are in a place, if you are ready and willing to understand all the things that the elders taught. Remember, they were from another tomorrow. And so while you try to apply literally what they were talking about at that time, and it wasn't working, and you called them, oh, these niggas is hoaxes. Oh, no, you was missing the point.
Excellent.
It wasn't for that time period. And 4 years ago was the perfect example. Like Red said, 4 years ago, you either was in it or you was out of it. And they were continuing by taking out some of the elders during that time who facilitated that, which were indicators to you. Oh, if they going out, maybe I'm going. No, their work here was done.
Yeah.
Their work here, they had prepared you for everything you needed. And you was either on it or you wasn't. And I remember in particularly, Blue Pill called me. And it seemed like he heard me because I was calling him. And he called me and he said, Doc, you ready? I said, son, I've never been more ready in my life. He said, all right. He said, I don't know if I'm going to talk to you the next couple of days, but you hold on. I said, I got you, King. I remember the lessons. What he was saying is, do you have your lessons with you? Did you remember your lessons? Now is the time to apply this, and now you're going to see it again. Just wanted to
add something. I don't want it to come off as wild, egotistical, and whatnot.
Go ahead, Red. Come on.
But one of the main reasons why the Hollywood actors and the rappers and the entertainers and as well as the athletes are not held to the highest principle is because the fact that the master teachers are looked at as higher than these quote unquote individuals inside of our culture. And throughout the years, there's been breakthroughs taking place to whereas we went from being underground to being overground to being mainstream in a way. And people are saying when they see us, the authenticity of the teachers, the integrity of the teachers to stand on business, stand on purpose. Even when you talk about the interviews that Umar will have across the sphere and whatnot, the way that he bodies the interviews, the way that he stands on his points and whatnot, the way that he doesn't waver and whatnot. So you have the Sabis, the Dr. Sabis of the world, the pantheons of the master teachers who are no longer here, whose lessons and teachings and words even ring stronger and whatnot.
Yes.
Like you were saying, during 2020, multiple master teachers were taken, or their job was finished, and they basically ascended and whatnot to another level. There's a new player in town. There's a new, and like I said, not on some ego shit like we're running around arrogant. No, people are recognizing that they didn't see it like that before when there was this celebrity worship and whatnot. They were like, no, that's the pinnacle of what our community has to give to us. These are these entertainers and whatnot. But now we didn't have it like this before. The thinkers, the intellects, the thought leaders, the influencers who we're influencing the influencers who are influencing millions.
Facts.
And let me say this and tell me what you'll think about this, because this is my assessment. Like I said, pardon me, my voice. It's a little confusing for folks because they're like, well, so much change is happening, but the guy that's in charge of the white supremacists is in charge. So how good could that be? He's the neo-Nazis is rolling with this dude.
Right.
And I just wanted, this is my assessment, my spiritual assessment of this. If this shit is a movie, right?
Right.
And I get a lot of my psychology from Bobby Hemmett when I make these assessments. And if this is a movie, to transition from one paradigm to the next, sometimes you can't make a quantum leap straight to a Dr. Umar, or Dr. Sabi, or whoever. You need transition actors.
You do.
They're perfect for the transition. They're perfect. The world is so chaotic. They can't jump straight to consciousness. They got to have somebody to transition the white people and the black people together. Trump is the perfect movie actor in this cosmic movie for that. I'll talk about him a little later, but they won't be around forever. The right wingers won't be around forever. But during this transition, they were needed. This shit is chess, not checkers. In chess, you make moves that a checker player could not fathom.
Yeah,
because the checker player is looking for that straight line. This is 5D chess. Trump was necessary to transition us. He won't be around long. He's 78. His people, they won't be around that long. They're gonna be around making noise for a little while. Boom. They going on to the real deal, on to the people who's really about this shit. So don't get confused with Trump. He's just there for this movie. This is a movie.
A placeholder.
There you go. He's a placeholder.
He's a placeholder. And he's authentically racist, right?
Yes.
Like we said before, give us authenticity over that fake shit that y'all trying to ride and jack. We're not jacking that. We want our racism up front. We want to be able to deal with it, so we know what we're dealing with. I'm in the South. I'm in the deep South. I travel to places outside of the borders of this place. What I noticed is, yeah, there are people who don't know us. And what you don't know and what you don't understand, you tend to fear and whatnot. There are people who are living a completely total different reality in a completely different dimension than where I'm at and whatnot. But there's never been any friction. We don't cross paths like that.
Right.
It's authentic from the gate. You feel me? And they don't even, I don't feel the hate. I don't feel all of that stuff. I know what they on and they know what I'm on. You feel me? But we are quote unquote cordial to one another, right? Yes. Outside of other places that I may have been, and I felt some other type of way amongst other people and whatnot. So at the end of the day, we know how to handle ourselves in all situations, in any situations. As a collective and as a community, we're going to be all right. We always been all right. The teachings have prepared us to be not just all right, but to prosper and to thrive with the quote unquote pressure. Because let me share something with everyone. I'm going to give it to you in a minute. Resistance is where strength is at. You understand? Resistance. If you in a gym, it's the resistance in a gym that's going to build you up. If you are trying to be celibate and practice, it's the resistance to the urges that give you your strength and whatnot.
And that's why in all the movies they speak about the resistance going against the power structure. Absolutely.
Thank you. Right. And that's as long as Hamas didn't resist, they became stronger with every attack and things of that nature. It's the resistance that matters the most. People forget that we are somewhat of a resistance. We are traveling on this hero's journey, both individually and collectively. And like Rich said earlier, if you signed up for this journey and you thought that it was an elevator ride up and it wasn't no squiggly roads and cobblestones and things of that nature, well, you was cosplaying and whatnot. This is not a journey for the weak. This is not a journey for the faint of heart. This is not a journey for people that just want to strap in and benefit off of the hard work of people. No, this thing is like when we was going to Stone Mountain at 5 a.m. and everybody had to climb the mountain. We was working together, but you had to make it up to that mountain.
Yes.
So I smile in the face of adversity. You understand?
Yeah. Facts.
And when you add on to that,
please do.
When we speak about we're coming into a time where I don't even see racism. Now, I don't want people to take that the wrong way. Of course, meaning it doesn't affect my reality because I'm operating above it. And
Facts.
gender, races, all of these things that they kept trying to put in this old paradigm stuff to trigger people. Those of us who exist above that, we already know certain people don't like us and we don't like them. But how does this keep us all moving forward to reach our goal? We are at the stage now, those of us who understand. It's like I'm never worrying about the police because I don't see the goddamn police.
Don't see them.
I don't see them. So when we speak about matter behind us being total chaos and it doesn't take form until we pay attention to it, that works in your life as well. The things you pay attention to on a regular basis are the things that matter, are the things that take form and become pillars of obstacles or whatever in your life. I don't see none of it. So during the election, I sat back and said, oh, okay, that's the winner. Okay, nothing else changed. I didn't get on my timeline. I didn't blow a gasket because none of that matters. I am above all of that. And so are you if you know what time it is.
Right. Hey, let me just before oh man, this is amazing. Before I ask this question or you know, go to where I'm going. I feel like family, and we got almost 4,000 people in the building. This conversation is so electric. You know how you watch, I know a lot of y'all watch the Olympics in the track meet, and you waiting for them to pass you the baton. Yeah. Red is talking, and I'm waiting for them to pass it to me so I can take off running and ask a question. That's how electric this shit is. I'm waiting here like this. I can't even sit still. Oh, I'm loving this shit. And y'all need to feel like this every day. Y'all need to feel like this right now and tap into that etheric energy that's present. With that being said, listen, all right, everybody know Minister Jew, aka Jackpot Jew.
Yes.
He's on the show a lot. He put up a post on Instagram with the newscasters showing different clips of Donald Trump saying, don't worry about voting for me. I have enough votes. Oh, I have an abundance of votes. Don't worry. Trump say the craziest shit. You be like, and I said the other day, I was like, Trump is a pathological liar. But there's a science to being a pathological liar. Red Pill sent me an article 2 years ago where they were saying like a lot of millionaires are pathological, are psychotic or whatever, because they're able to completely just tap into something and believe the craziest shit in the world that the average person wouldn't believe. Saying that to say, what the hell does Trump know that the average person doesn't know in terms of magic, in terms of science? I never heard somebody just confidently say the shit he says repeatedly. He lost to Kamala. I did him in a debate. He did horrible against Kamala, whether she cheated or whatever. He didn't do good. And after how did you do? I think it was the best debate I ever had. This nigga never accepts defeat. He never accepts defeat. He never says nothing negative. I think one of his family members said that he exhibits toxic positivity. I think they said some shit like that. But my thought is, what's your thought? Because I heard about Trump being Biff and time traveling. What the hell you think he knows about manipulating matter and manipulating this realm? That he knows something. The way he talks, the way he moves, he knows something. What y'all think? He's like this dark magician or whatever you want to call it. What y'all think? Does Trump know something? What y'all think, man?
Well, he came up under a preacher who would be the equivalent to Father Divine.
Right, okay. Yeah, you said that. Yeah.
Out of Queens and whatnot. And what this preacher talked about is the power of positive thinking. That was his thing. He was a prosperity preacher and whatnot. And he was the one who helped shape the psychology of Donald Trump to basically create alternative realities, you know, by being authentically enthusiastic about what it is that he believes in his set and he's saying, right? And it became part of a culture, right? He created alt reality culture, okay? And that's what you have with QAnon and all of these other quote unquote movements that are intertwined in his cult, right? But he's been groomed from a child. He's been groomed from a teenager to be the person that he is right now. Not to mention the time that he spent with Roy Cohen, certain mobsters and whatnot that helped them with this quote unquote way of just seeing reality in the way that he wanted to see it. Because you are the one who is in control of your reality. He's the living proof to show you that. However, certain people have not seen it on such a scale like that. And he has the traits, what they call dark tetrad, that quote unquote billionaires and CEOs and things have. All right. They were able, and that's where the movie American Psycho with Christian Bale was a result of that quote unquote research, right? Where they're showing you that these people in high places have to be a little bit off and a little bit quote unquote narcissistic and Machiavellian and whatnot to pull off the things that they do, right?
Listen, we do it every single day in our own lives in a smaller capacity. You know what I'm saying? We never really, I always spoken about each and every one of us having that magic. Whether you lose your job, get a job, the rent's going to get paid somehow. The kids are going to get what they want somehow. You're going to pull that girl you want somehow. It's just a magnetic pull. Now, I've also spoken about the participation of others to tap into your craziness with you that accelerates. It's like a particle accelerator. So if I believe it, that's cool. If I go on World Star and I create 5 videos and project that reality out further and get 10 million people to believe it, now I'm reaching that goal at a faster rate. So when Trump ran in 2016 or wherever he ran the first time, I thought it was a joke. I said, he's a celebrity. I said, he's building up his celebrity for his show. And then this shit got real. And so when it got real, I had to step back and say, all right, this is an outlier of thinking of a cesspool of toxic political thinking from the Bushes, the Clintons, the Obamas, all of that toxic. It was an outlier. It's like playing a beautiful song of Biden, of Bushes, of Clintons, of Obamas, and then bang, you hit a note and it's a whole different note and the song go, Trump became that, and coming in with his understanding of what he knew prior was projecting something different. And what I noticed is a lot of people were in sync. They didn't know. It's sort of like creating new neurons in your brain, but not your internal, your external brain, which became what? The social media shit became part of your external brain. In 2016,
neural network,
or the whole network in a line with us having a celebrity for the first time ever become the president. And he did it off of celebrity. He's busting bottles in the club with all of the same people, right? So he used not political science and his acronyms of political awareness. He used his hype. That's why black people was fucking with him, excuse the French, is because we celebrate that in our hood every day. We celebrate the criminal. We celebrate the dude who got 5, 6 girls willing to grab somebody by the pussy. We celebrate dudes spending big money, and he was a subconscious representation of that which goes against the norm. But it was authentic in its space, and we were drawn to that authentic energy, Red, and here we are.
Right. And I really want to be able to remind the family that the CIA dropped the quote unquote paper on the Gateway experiment, right? And the Gateway, and the Gateway, this is during, I believe it was during Trump's presidency, and they're showing you that you could jump dimensions, and they're giving you the roadmap to do it.
Bringing that up.
You know what I'm saying? They're literally the CIA dropped it and was like, "Look, this is how you jump dimensions."
Yeah, this ain't speculation.
This ain't speculation.
Yeah, this ain't. Oh my God! Y'all, this is divinely inspired. Go ahead, Red. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Right. So we've never seen somebody in a position of power. Especially how Blue breaks down with someone sitting in the Oval Office, what that does, how that's charged up on that frequency, on the mall with the Tekken new and everything.
Yes.
Dude has mastered the quote unquote chaos magic of time shifting realities and whatnot. It's on some Kang type shit. You know what I mean? And he is a perfect example for those of us who are going to be jumping timelines in the future, right?
Mhm.
This is something that we will be doing, and this is something that we do when we listen to some of our master teachers right before we go to sleep and whatnot. Sometimes some of us have been facing, quote unquote, we've been on the edge. You feel me? And then
Yeah.
YouTube might recommend a video and take you to a completely new dimension and whatnot, just based off of what you're hearing, bro.
Yes.
So some of us are already timeline shifting. We jumping through timelines. I had a nightmare last night. Okay. And I don't want to repeat what the nightmare was, but I had to jump through another dimension to make that dimension not real and whatnot. You feel me?
Yeah.
I had a nightmare, and it was a reality that I did not want to accept. So I jumped through another dimension, and I was like, okay, so and so is safe. We good. It's all good. That shit don't exist. I collapsed that dimension. I collapsed that reality. I collapsed that wave and whatnot. It fleets like an emotion.
Hey, let me ask y'all this. All right. Y'all see how we vibing tonight. It's an amazing flow. There's 4,002 people to be exact on my screen in the chat. 4,002 people. Does this show happen? Do we have 4,000 people? And are we as electrified as we are if Kamala becomes president?
That is an interesting question because, again, she has probably become president in a whole nother timeline that we are just not recognizing. And so, but we may have had more of the white supremacist and the closeted white supremacist, right, who sat on them news shows acting like they was rooting for Kamala, but we know they weren't. But I don't think we would have been having a conversation of this magnitude. So that tells me this had to happen. We listen, as much as people don't want to admit, we are here as lights to help you. You know what I mean? We are not to live your life. That is your experience. That is your journey. We are here to walk you off of these ledges that a lot of our people have put themselves on, or we are here to tell you, you have to let your son's hand go. Let it go. The current of his reality is pulling him too strong that way, and you have to look in his eyes one last time, and you have to let him go or let her go so that you can survive what is next for you. And an event like this is beautiful because it puts it all in your face. And 4 years ago, a beautiful event to put these, and like Red said, we're going to have more of these events. Now, on the night of the election, the Schumann's resonance had a huge spike in it.
Super spike.
Thanks for bringing that up.
Which represents timeline shifts, consciousness, awaken. A lot of things were on this vibe. And remember, like
This
Red
is beautiful.
said,
This is beautiful.
remember the 5th of November as V and Vendetta came in and said, and you thought they was talking about, because a lot of people took it literal as the elders was teaching us about that movie. Well, I'm waiting for that November to come. Remember, time and space is an illusion to those who have the capacity to think outside of the shit. So stop placing what I'm giving to you in a literal, hardened timeline.
Right.
Stop
That's
thinking
not
linear. Linear minds
exist.
thinking straight. Linear minds thinking straight lines. And so understand none of that exists. And we are all here now to experience something that I've been waiting my whole life for.
Right. So there's door 1 and there's door 2. We went through door 2, and we don't need to question what door 1 would have felt like, because there's a right door, there's a trap door, and then there's a door that's going to take you where you need to go. We're obviously went through the door where we need to go.
Yes.
Okay. She didn't even do the speech that night.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's talk about that real quick. The psychology of what we saw, what that meant, right? And what that ultimately was saying to people who went and voted for her, to show you what you was about to put yourself into, right? Nobody in politics, I don't care how much you get washed, I don't care how bad the beating, you got people who be boxing and get their lights knocked out. They get the Martin Lawrence lumps and whatnot, and they got to show up to the after fight press conference to talk about what went wrong. Right?
Absolutely.
Them people showed up to Howard. That was her alumni. Okay, it wasn't no strangers at the goddamn Marriott and whatnot. That was her alumni, allegedly. Right? She's a Howard alumni. She did not show face in the night of her defeat, bro, to send them people home and let them know, you know what? We are unburdened by what has been.
Absolutely.
Wow.
That $1 billion that they raised and whatnot, all that Zoom money.
Yes.
She didn't even give them the common courtesy to say, you know what, guys? You know what I mean? Even if she had the mascara running, who cares? You know what I mean? You know, it is what it is. That would be iconic. This guy got his damn ear shot off. You at least owe us something.
Yes.
Some type of humanity. You didn't show us nothing to prove that you was a human, ma'am.
Absolutely.
Okay?
I have
So
to
the
agree.
fact, right? So no leader, right? Vladimir Putin, if he got defeated, would not say I can't come out. The dude from China, if he got defeated, would not say I can't come out. You understand? The people in Africa, if they got defeated,
Red, I'm gonna cut you off for this one. I'm not.
Go ahead, please. Let's go.
I gotta cut you off for this one because I want to ask this question now. This is a tough one.
Yes.
You ready for it?
Go. Let's do it.
Dr. Phil Valentine got criticized heavily. He came on the show. He said some shit that could be considered. What's that word? Misogynistic? Is that the word?
Yeah, misogynistic.
He said women are too emotional to rule in that position, president. Now, the first thing she did was she didn't concede. She didn't do the speech or whatever after she lost.
Right.
Do you agree with Dr. Phil Valentine sent out? People were mad as shit at him that night. Do you agree with his sentiments and what he said as far as women being too emotional? He even referenced the fact that they're menstrual. They go through what they go through every month. Do you agree with what he said? And elaborate on that a little bit, right?
No disrespect to no non-black woman, but a black woman would have came out there and talked to them people.
Yes,
You understand?
Oh, that's where you going with it.
A real sister.
That's where you going with it.
Because this is the new classification.
You went to
There's sisters, and then there's black women. That's like Rachel Dolezal and them. But if you could be a black woman, but you can't be a sister.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
Where's Shirley Chisholm? Where's her in-law?
Hey.
The Chisholm bloodline. You understand?
That was a good one.
No, I've been around women that are leaders, bro. You know what I'm talking about?
I was hoping you didn't
stand
fold.
on business.
That was a good one. I was hoping you
Stand
didn't
on
fold.
business.
Oh, shit.
No, I've been around some powerful women.
Yeah, you see.
She's just not a sister.
Yeah, and that's what I was trying to explain to people. This whole black, she didn't have a black vibration. She didn't have
at all
vibration at all. So we weren't taken to the program. And now I want to say this. A lot of our sisters, when you cast your vote for somebody, right? They didn't cast their vote for her because they truly believed in her. They casted their vote for her because they were afraid of Trump. Now, let me explain the dynamics of that. Yep. Even when you cast a physical vote, it is connected to your spiritual agreement. Everybody who voted for Trump, they casted their vote with a different vibration and a different energy. We rock with this. You were only rocking with her for she was a sister. And this feminine thing, we're rising above, and all of that bullshit they created for you, that's all third dimensional paradigm shit. And y'all got to start recognizing that has nothing to do with where we're going. Listen, we would look at you in this new leap like you from the moon or something. What do you mean equal to? That's not even in the paradigm where we're going. That's in the paradigm where we are. That's and right. So women in general needed to feel they saw Hillary get slaughtered, right? So that's telling you even back then, even white women didn't vote for her. So I do, like the elders taught me, you want to know about the unknown, you study what you know. I'm like, so now someone who's claiming to be black, who doesn't have a black vibration and energy, and she's dropping the ball on every time we throw it off the backboard and try to make it easy for her, she can't dunk the ball. Yeah, and so in that sense, a lot of people were voting for her for the wrong reason. You were going there Everything you do has to be about you. So even if you choose not to vote, I was demonstrating my ability to say, I don't believe in either one of these.
Right.
Now, they are both two birds of the same wing or two wings of the same plane. And Trump ass got in the middle and became the damn pilot and is now crashing the plane, but he got a parachute.
Oh,
This mother got a parachute. He get ready to jump out when this whole political shit crash.
Right.
Not only the political shit gonna crash, this gender shit is gonna crash. This he, they, we, they shit is gonna crash.
They,
The
she, her,
music
yeah.
industry is crashing. The fashion, it's all crashing. You get to be in the plane and put your head forward with it, or you could be like, I'm not dying in this shit. I'm out of here. The choice is yours. When I pull my shit and poof and fly out that shit, or I was never in it and I'm sitting on the beach watching the plane crash, don't get mad at me when I watch the carnage. That is your choice that you made.
Right.
Yo, Doc said Trump is in charge of crashing the plane. God damn it.
Like bang.
Wow.
Right. Yeah, he is. The ship is sinking.
This shit is over.
The
Wow.
Titanic is sinking, bro.
Wow. So let me move into hip hop. I just seen a video with C. Freeman L. Somebody posted it. I think her name is I forget the sister name. I don't want to chop it up and mess it up. But shout out to that sister that posted a video on C. Freeman L. You can see his videos on YouTube. There's a channel, Serious Times, I think.
Yes.
Or Serious Times, yeah.
Yeah.
But C. Freeman L said, listen, man, if there's one thing black people gonna do, regardless of what we go through in this country, we're going to do some music. We're going to make some music out of every situation.
Yes.
We done live, us, our mothers, our grandmothers, great-grandmothers, we done seen the whole music industry being controlled, manipulated, our artists being abused, become drug addicts, being completely taken advantage of.
Yeah.
Sam Cooke. I mean, Prince. I mean, I could just go on and on and on. We seen them set up, kill. Look at Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston's sister said, "Man, Whitney Houston had bruises all over her body. Whatever they tell him, y'all ain't the whole story. She had bruises all over her body.
Right.
Clive Davis. There's all types of mysteries behind that dude right there.
Mad bodies.
Yes.
Mad bodies.
The fact that Puffy got instead of him, that's a whole nother story. But my point is, in terms of what Janet Jackson said, we're the rhythm nation. We're the rhythm nation of the planet.
Yes.
It always been that way, always will. That's the forever reality of the situation. We are the rhythm nation of the planet. With that being said, what do you see with the future, man? It's sad to see what our culture has become. What our culture has been all these years. What's the future of music? It's at its lowest point. It's dead. The gatekeepers dead. The gatekeepers in jail, locked away. Gatekeepers gone. Quincy Jones passed away. Rest in peace. Rest his soul. He did some shit. I don't agree with everything he did. Amazing music producer. Absolutely amazing. Black American brother. One of the greatest in the world, if not the greatest producer in the world. Blessings to your soul for what you created with the Thriller album with Michael Jackson. But we got to talk about this our music. This who we are. Talk to me, y'all.
He's a gatekeeper.
Not just him, but us. What's going to happen, you know?
Oh, well, I looked at it like this, Red, and I'm going to hand it over to you. The freedom is back now. The freedom, creativity was being contained by the gatekeepers who were creating the mandate in which the principles, there's no rules to how we do anything. That's what make us who we are. We're the urban alchemists, right? By creating rules that say you can only do drill, trap, women have to do this and that, you are containing or putting a ceiling over our ability to express. That's the fight Kanye was having. You know what I mean? Like, don't tell me how to do this. Is not supposed to be something that is defined. It has never been something collectively that has been defined. It is the soundtrack. It is the outer expression of who we are, using harmonic notes and sounds and beats and drums. And that's why slave masters were confused while we were getting our ass beat. We kept beating these drums and all of this. And so I feel with the gatekeepers gone, there's going to be a period, right? Of course, like we spoke about, birth is violent. And so there will be a rinsing out period, but coming out of that, being able to do music freely and authentic, right? So you're not worrying about record charts. You're not worrying about if the label is going to accept this. You're just doing your music from your heart chakra and above is going to provide for you everything you need. Now, your needs, in my humble opinion, in this new paradigm are not going to be what they are here. See, this is a material realm. And so all of the money that you stacked and way more than you ever needed, food, clothing, and shelter is essentially where the power is. And so when your music and your creativity can provide that for you, I'm a place of heart. You can put out an album anytime you feel like it. You're not trying to conquer the world. You're putting out a resonant frequency, like a Cambada frequency. Brother Rich and Cambada have a specific frequency. If you ain't on it, the shit may sound like Chinese arithmetic, but if you are on it, the shit is life-changing. The shit is elevating. The shit is motivating. And you feel it. We need to get back to that. And we're being given an opportunity. Same thing in the movie industry. You can now take 3 or 4 iPhones with some AI implanted in it and now bring things to reality that usually took you millions of dollars. So I applaud the fall. I applaud the plane crash. I don't know about you guys.
Well, Kendrick Lamar said, watch the party die. Yeah. And the party that he was talking about is the party and bullshit. And he was also talking about the Democratic Party and a lot of other things, right? And something has to die for something to be born. Keep in mind, subgenres of the culture were elevated to popular culture. Most importantly, drill music.
Yeah.
Prior to that, it was trap rap, trap music and whatnot. And those were the artists that made the distinction to say that, nah, we ain't fucking with the art. We just doing this to get bread and whatnot. We don't even know the craft like that. We just making words rhyme. Right. But this is our whore. You know what I mean? We're whoring it out. And what you gonna say about it? People was like, nah, go ahead, make your music. And they had her on the blade and they pimped her out and they did all kind of things to hip hop. And that is dying out. That is coming to a cease and desist. We now live in this new paradigm or this new timeline where the creator economy is the dominant economy. Mm-hmm. So Red Pill, Black Dot, Brother Rich, and other creators and whatnot have the opportunity to sign ourselves to our own publishing companies and whatnot, not just a label, publishing companies and whatnot. We have the power to get our own ISPN numbers and all of these other things. We could become our own bosses and we could make our own soundtracks. And because of the streaming catalog and whatnot, I could put a song out every day.
Yes.
I could put 365 songs out and whatnot. Singles, I could put 20 albums out, 30 albums. I could sit back and make AI create multiple albums. I could do all of these things, not be signed to anybody, not have a contract, own my masters, own my publishing, and have a niche, quote unquote, fan base. If I have 100 to 1,000 people, true fans, I'm going to live comfortably like Black Dot said. I made it out of the matrix and whatnot. I'm selling my merch. I'm selling my art. I'm doing tours. I'm doing clubs. I'm doing virtual. Life is great for a creator right now.
Without having to give up your spiritual virginity.
Right, without having to give up your spiritual virginity, without losing your manhood, without being broken, because this is what was taking place with the gatekeepers from Quincy Jones going down to Diddy and whatnot. They were the ones who were breaking the talent before it got through the door. Right. They were breaking the spirits of the talented light bringers, the people who were coming in. They were there spotting them. They were on the balcony spotting them out. Give me that person right there. Send that person upstairs. Send that person upstairs. And the people who had the light were getting broken or bitten like vampires.
Yes. So now they're not, you don't have to go through those rituals to give up your soul, give up your spiritual virginity, and be walking around with a spiritual STD that was imprinted on you by someone else.
I didn't hear that one before. That's
You don't have to do all of that no more. All of that now, you sign yourself
shit.
and you are in alignment with self now. No, because that's rich. That's what they do.
I didn't hear that. That's deep.
They take your spiritual virginity when they align you with some sex rituals that are not in alignment with you spiritually. Right. And they implant a spiritual STD on you that you carry, and ain't no penicillin getting rid of that shit.
Right.
That's why, listen, real quick. Red, remember the show me and you and Blue just did? That spiritual
magnetic
STD.
field.
That's why your magnetic field gets damaged.
Right. So right. So your energy field, your aura, the thing that protects you that everybody walks around with, it is your quote unquote like your microbiome.
Yes.
If your manhood is taken the way that they have in those lawsuits and those police reports where people are getting drugged and whatnot, and then they're getting humiliated and whatnot, that will break you to a point where you cannot create anymore. Your whole egg is shattered. You understand? So, right, your egg is shattered. So, right. So the majority of these people can't even create at the higher level that they came in with their first album. The sophomore jinx is the fact before you get to your second album, they break you in the industry. You understand? They break you in the industry, or they put you with a tranny, or they put you with a woman. Right, they put you with somebody of lower frequencies that will break your auric field.
Red, I would have never thought when I was young, because everybody always talked about the sophomore jinx. I would have never thought it had to do with being broken spiritually. So you can't be creative no more.
Yes,
right. Out of sync. The sophomore jinx had a lot to do with niggas being broken in the industry. Oh my God,
Jesus. Trying to tell you.
Magnetic
when they say the rappers is like, I was sexing myself dumb.
Yeah.
I was skeeting everywhere. I was sexing myself dumb. What that means is you now had an influx of all type of STDs, spiritually transmitted diseases, from sex workers to to backstage studies and whatnot. Prior to that, you didn't have that type of access or that type of, you know what I mean? You was not exposed like that.
Right.
But as you continuously hit the road and you just spin your seed and you just spill your seed and you just leak your light and whatnot, and you getting sucked on and leached on, eventually it's going to show up.
And that's why the young artists, they think it's a compliment because they have the light. They think it's a compliment when one of these known artists come and want to work with them. No, they're coming to take your spiritual
light,
so no matter how high you ascend, after that, you take them with you and you become weaker. And now you want, damn, I used to be able to, I can't. It's because there's too many, the shit has been cracked.
Too many parasites pulling on you. Right.
And that's the secret that our elders was trying to teach us and did teach us. They just use a little bit more vulgar,
Right. So just not to say anything, Clive Davis in the 70s got fired from RCA for what they call drugola, sex parties, everything that you see Diddy locked up for right now. Mr. Clive Davis, this is not a rumor. This is not some, how some of these people be Orlando Brown type of conversation. Right. This is real. He got outed, he got fired, he got exposed and whatnot. So they had something called drugola. They were paying the artists with heroin. They were paying the artists with opiates. Why are they signing young children right now that are on opiates and drugs? Because those are the ones that are easier to manipulate and to put STDs on and to quote unquote compromise them. They have control of their masters. They have control of their publishing.
Absolutely.
They're literally the label is waiting for them to get knocked off. To be honest, that's the ultimate cash out.
And then they got the cash out because they got a life insurance policy on you anyway.
Right.
So
they got three
both ways.
Yes. Right. Key person life insurance. They got 3 of them on you. Boom. Then they know that you're gonna be wacky. They're gonna put you on dope. They're gonna put you on pills. They're gonna put you on opiates. They're gonna set you up with street workers and whatnot, or they're gonna set you up with a setup girl.
Yep.
And the story, we've seen so many people crash out to the point where it's gone beyond speculation.
Yes, yes.
This is a rinse and repeat for them.
And so for us now at this time, who survived all of that? You know how many artists kept saying, damn, I know I'm good. I know my shit is hot. How come I can't? It's because you didn't understand this process, this entire, and so you gave up on yourself or something, and it's not that. You were always good. You always had the talent. You always had the skill, but there were too many filters in place designed purposely to make you walk through narrow pathways of a reality to squeeze everything that was about you that was invincible and make you vincible.
Make you vincible,
you know
right?
What I mean?
And now your superpowers are being neutralized.
Right.
And not to put nobody in no type of pedestal and whatnot. I'm just using this example for any artist out there who want to know how to move through this industry. And I'm giving you a winning example. The fact that Kendrick Lamar is out of the way. The fact that it's assumed that he's with his family and not at the parties. He's saying no to the Diddy parties. He's not all over the place. He's able to do what? Maintain his integrity.
Yep.
Keep his magnetic field very strong to the point where they say when he walks in a room, you could feel him, right?
Yep.
He's able to, maintain his character by not having too many flaws in his character. Now, when I'm giving you these examples, no one is perfect. Nobody has to be perfect.
Right.
Nobody has to be your picture perfect version of perfect. However, when we talk about major character flaws and major quote unquote compromises, those are things that some people can't come back from, right?
Yes.
The shit that Meek Mill was doing with Diddy, you cannot come back from that.
Man.
His magnetic charge, he's not charged anymore. He doesn't have that pull. When Rick Rubin put Little Baby in that sandwich and he took a picture of it,
not Rick Rubin,
his magnetic charge went away.
Not Rick Rubin. What's his name?
Mike Rubin at the All White Party. And they put a picture of Little Baby out there. They leaked it. It was him that leaked it. You know what I mean? They did that to that boy.
Yeah.
His whole appeal, his whole magnetic pull to the ladies went away.
Gone.
So people are being compromised. People are being quote unquote, they don't even realize what's taking place. They don't even know how they're being spirit cooked in this industry. But because of 2024 and the fact that we're in this age of exposure, everybody is being able to see. I mean, God damn it, you got to be super blind. Look, we are living in the land of the one-eyed man. The blind shall lead the blind. I have my hangups about homie, and but I'm not going to make it personal. But Charleston White is out there disrupting. He is the glitch in the matrix. He's a
transition actor. Remember I said earlier, he's one of them transitional actors in the matrix.
Right. He's Wreck-It Ralph.
But necessary.
He's Wreck-It Ralph. You understand? He's the one-eyed man in the land of the blind, and you could disagree with some of the things that he says, but you would never be able to call him an industry plant because he destroyed the industry video by video by video. He was able to carpet bomb the industry in a way that I've never seen anybody from a constructive critiquing aspect. Where you might not like him. He says he's in character, right? He said, I'm in character and everything. You might not like him, whatever. But there's no denying that he is the cipher in the matrix. He helped to destroy that shit.
That is superbly said, Red.
Excellent.
And this is what I try to tell our people. Stop looking for perfect characters like your preacher and all of that stuff.
We're in the villain era.
These are individuals brought in at a specific time, agents of chaos to do a specific work, and then they crash out. But their work is done. That's what Trump is here. He only got 4 more years, right, so to speak. And so it is an agent of chaos to bring about, because remember, I have to keep saying it. Stop thinking transition of anything in life is going to be easy. Brother Rich just told you, Red Pill just told you resistance. So you're holding on. You're just holding. I don't want to let this go because I don't want to believe what's on the other side of it. But when you let go, it's sort of like when people have their so-called near-death experience. And when they let go and go, Man, this is that's what I was holding on to. Are you kidding me? So I always examine each character in social media as a character in avatar. And I do more than just say, oh, I don't like him because he said so and so. I'm studying the purpose of the avatar.
Right. What purpose do they play in the Matrix? Other than that, I'm not personally invested. He helped me understand the concept of the internet being character driven.
Yes.
And once I was able to absorb that, it really helped me entertain. It helped me appreciate the internet better. And the characters that show up on the internet. You on the internet trying to play, you on the internet telling everybody your business. You on the internet bringing people in your bedroom. You on the internet showing people your routines. Well, that's on you. You know what I'm talking about? Absolutely. That's not what the internet was built for. The internet is built for exactly what these people are playing it for.
I wanna show this super. First of all, shout out to everybody who gave a super chat. And pardon my voice. I told you I'm getting over a cold. We got 4,600 people in the building. Shout out to everybody who gave a super chat. This comment right here. Much love to the fam. Shout out to celebs for playing their role for us to realize ours. Listen, family, I want to give a thanks. King Simon just called me the other day. Pam for Martin. What's her name? What's the real name?
Tachina Arnold.
Tachina Arnold.
She hit up King Simon. She's been a big supporter of this channel for years. She won when I had the God Power Blueprint for God Power 1 with Billy and Dr. B. She bought a bunch of tickets and donated to them to people. So when I talk about the celebrities family, I'm not talking about all celebrities because she's a celebrity.
You know who her father is, right?
Real quick. Yeah, I know. Real quick, Dot, and we're gonna get into that real quick. They prop up the worst of us on purpose. They prop up the most degenerate of us, and they make them the most famous. So when we talk about celebrities, we're talking about the ones who's purposely put at the top for an agenda, for a purpose, to keep the people at a low vibration.
Right.
But all celebrities are not evil. Shout out to the celebrities who do their thing.
Mm-hmm.
About a specific group. This sister right here, Tachina Arnold, amazing sister. Thank you for all your support. Donations constantly.
She supported me too, heavy one time.
If you in the Urban X Nation already know, she shows us mad love in the Urban X Nation. I met her father before I met her, and you know what I mean. That's when I knew she was in alignment. You know, what I mean?
Because Mr. Arnold, Mr. Gene Arnold, that was our heart right there. So we knew what he was about. So we automatically know where she comes from and whatnot. So salute to her, love and light to her. She's spreading that light in the industry. And she's the one who is giving the links to a lot of people. I never want anybody to feel like they have not been effective. Every single one of us who's been a part of this community are the reasons why it is cool to quote unquote live healthy, to be smart, to be intelligent. This is something that's unprecedented. Okay. It's so normalized today that people don't realize 10 years ago it was an anomaly. Let's not even talk about 20 years ago. I mean, for real. So we've been able to terraform. We've been able to ride the wave as it terraformed and whatnot. And there's a higher frequency amongst the collective than there was before and whatnot. There's still chaos taking place, but I promise you the order is coming out of that.
Yes.
Real quick, what Dot said, and I want to get to some Q&A real quick before we get out of here. I mean, wow, this show, instant classic, the perfect show for what's going on in the cosmos right now. This divinely inspired. Thank you, Dot Red. I called y'all 3-4 this afternoon to set up the show. I've been super busy. My schedule is super busy. My ladies, y'all know what's going on with that.
I know what's going on.
You know what I'm saying? But let me just get to this comment right here. Dot just talked about spiritual virginity being taken. Red just talked about the sophomore jinx. Rich Cliff, thanks for putting this comment and thanks for your super chat. This is a perfect example. This brother was on course to be the next Michael Jackson.
Yes.
His first single was amazing. Everybody, What the fuck happened to Tevin Campbell? Then we just started hearing all these gay rumors, all types of crazy shit. This is what y'all talking about.
Who was in charge of him?
Musical geniuses.
Perfect example.
Who was in charge of him?
Who was in charge of him?
Quincy Jones.
Quincy Jones. He was never the same. When you look into his face, you can tell his spirit was compromised, removed, tampered, and is toxic at the point where he's an empty shell of himself. That's what it is.
You know, it's sad because I just gave Quincy props, right? And I'm like, the most talented sometimes can be the most wicked.
Well,
that's a fucked up thing, man.
Rich, the way I interpret, you are spiritual, having a human experience is just that. And so the spiritual essence in which the music and thoughts came through Quincy had to come through him, which he manifested, but his physical trials, tribulations, and challenges, or the access he was given to all of the $600 million worth of stuff, was that he had to live off the carcass of those he brought in. That's the way vampire energy works. Stronger by vampiring you.
Yeah, somebody bit him.
Somebody bit him, and he had to bite somebody, and so forth. And that's how all of that energy stays consolidated within that thought stream, energy stream, and field. You know?
Excellent.
Yep.
Let's get to some Q&A.
Let me do this real quick, Rich, because you know I got to do this.
Please do, Dad. Yes, please.
I still have available these Gathering of the Masters t-shirts from the event, and they're going at $15, half price now.
Yeah.
Go to urbanx.nyc. urbanx.nyc. I got some bags. I got some different color shirts. So if you want one, no special code needed, and you just wanted to have it in your collection, go and scroll down to clearance at urbanx.nyc, and you could get one. I wanted to throw that in there before we got to Q&A.
What's that website one more time? It's King Simon. Who King
Shop
Simon?
UrbanX, shopurbanx.com. One word, shopurbanx.com.
Let me put this in the chat, y'all.
Yep, one word.
Listen, y'all, this is one of the biggest conferences, if not the biggest conference in so-called conscious community history.
Yeah.
So I want y'all to get this, be a part of history.
Yep.
Be a part of history and get this merch, y'all. It was a beautiful experience. If you didn't get a chance to make it, at least, $15. Yeah. They're like, you say 15? Yeah, nigga, 15. Oh, I'm sorry, Queen, that's a queen. I thought you was a dude. I said, yeah, nigga, that's a queen. Yes, Queen, $15, Queen. $15, Queen.
While supplies last. Yep.
Yeah, while supplies last. Get that shirt, all right? Get that shirt, y'all. I want to get to some. Let me take this off the wow, I mean, amazing. Wow, I don't even know what to say. This show is so amazing. We still got 4,500 people in the chat, and I want to get to some Q&A. But let me. I see a comment because I seen some sisters who probably are angry in the chat, and I seen this sister post this several times. She's kept trolling and posting this. I don't know if I don't know. I forget. But she said dictatorship. Let's see how y'all do. To anybody who's feeling this way, not just this sister, in terms of the idea, the fear mongering of a dictatorship or this Hitler type character, I come from ancestors. Listen, I come from ancestors who've been on this land for a long time and who have dealt with the worst of this so-called white man that y'all encounter on an everyday basis. My ancestors done seen the worst of them, ripping women apart while they're pregnant. All types of shit. I'm going to get it no matter what I do. And I have no problem leaving this around because I know I'm eternal, y'all. This is why Brother Rich moved the way he does. If anybody see how I move, they know I move a certain way. I don't move like the average person. Red doesn't move like the Black Doctor. We do what we do for a reason. I'm not afraid to die. And it's not really death. It's transition. But I have a purpose. I'm going to fulfill my purpose. I'm going to finish my purpose. And then I will leave this realm and go to another realm. Listen, we eternity beings. This shit get boring after a while. We need action. We need excitement. All right. But listen, we're not scared. We're going to do what we do. My ancestors did what they, listen, in the worst conditions, my ancestors was becoming millionaires to the fact that they had to sabotage every fucking thing we did. Black Wall Street, countless towns.
Yes.
Down here in Georgia, where's that? Lake Lanier,
Rosewood.
Rosewood.
Right.
When you leave us alone, or when we don't focus on y'all, the most effed up thing about us right now is we pay attention to mainstream media, and that shit is dead now. So now that shit is dead. Right. The genius is resurrected. Trust me. We don't have a problem getting this shit done. We are quantum beings. We are multidimensional beings, sisters. I don't hate you. I don't despise you or Kamala.
Nah, of course not.
I'm here to represent a certain frequency, and I'm here to express my truth. If it offends you, I apologize. But I'm going to be who I am going to be 1,000%. My aura's on 1,000,000.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead, y'all.
Let me add something to that, because I think I have a unique way of making complex things very simple, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yes, let's do this shit right quick, right? I've been on this planet for 56 years, right? In the 56 years, I've seen many presidents come, many presidents go, Republican, Democrat. I've been through 9/11, this, that. And when I noticed, this is just me, I'm still here.
Facts.
Right? That's what I noticed.
Oh, there you go.
So that tells me, when you want to know about the unknown, we study what we know. There are people in our chat right now who've been here 87 years, 72 years, 50 years. So we all have a general, unless you're trying to tell me my 56 years of hard data and experience against your 4-year projection of fear or whatever it is that you got coming, that we will not be here and we will be in some kind of dictatorship. I think I'll rely on the data that I have accrued, especially, here's the caveat. One of the person you're talking about that's a dictator, I already have a 4-year sample of, and I survived.
Talk to him, Doc.
Holy shit, let's just Scooby-Doo this shit. Don't make this complicated. So with all of that data, plus having a sample of the person you're telling me that's going to end my reality, I'm pretty sure I'll be here in 4 years. I think that's the best way I can explain it to you. Just kind of, sometimes you got to Scooby-Doo this shit. You got to slow it down and just use what you know. Don't make it super complex based on media and propaganda and all that other shit that comes in with that. Let all that go. You're going to be all right, sis. Trust me. You're going to be all right.
Yeah. That's facts. Let's get to some Q&A. Let me see what do y'all got. Shout out to Cafunia. Make sure you support Cafunia, magnificent, beautiful queen, elder in the community.
Absolutely.
Always does her thing.
And she can tell you more than I can how many presidents she done been through, how many cycles she done been through, how many end of the ages she done been through, how many 2012 the world's gonna end we done been through, how many 1999 when they crossed the division over, he gonna be through.
I'm loving it.
We still here, so I think I'm gonna ride with that. I'm gonna be here. Yeah.
Dot, they buying them shirts. Once again, Dot got a huge sale going on. Gathering of the Masters merch. Dot, show that shirt one more time, my brother.
Yes, sir. And I got bagged the whole 9 yards.
Now you selling this for 15. Dot, like, come on, what the
fuck? Because I had extra from the Gathering of the Masters, which we just had an amazing time at. And so I said, for those who want to have a commemorative item, $15. That's just me just giving it to you, basically. It's better than you just sitting in my closet,
Indeed. All right. Yeah, definitely. Make sure. What's the website again on that? One more time.
ShopUrbanX.com. One word. ShopUrbanX.com. Let's get to some questions.
Yeah. Let's get to some questions. I've been looking. The chat is booming, but it's all comments. Okay, well, somebody said, have y'all noticed that true love is on the rise? Interesting question. I haven't noticed it. What about y'all?
I've been in love so long. I'm the wrong person to ask.
Yeah, I don't.
I've been in love for so long that even these nuances about how to do things, I'm like, yo, I'm the wrong person to ask. I've been with the same woman who I've been loving my whole life, basically. And so it's hard for me to say I'm feeling a spike in love. Now, I'm feeling a spike in me and wifey's relationship. That happens. But Judge Mathis and his wife,
They got
after
back
49 years, got back together.
Excellent.
And I thought, we don't hear a lot of those stories, but it's because sometimes that separation apart gives you a chance for reflection. It gives you a chance to realize the absence of the void that was missed. Because I'm gonna be honest, I've been with my wife 28 years. If another chick laugh wrong, let's say we break up and another chick laugh wrong, I'm irritated. If you don't rub my foot under the blanket a certain way, I'm like, what the fuck? You got to get up out of here. So we love what we love, but if it's getting back to us appreciating love, I'm all with that. You know what I mean? Because we don't need nothing but each other. And not to get on my soapbox, but all of the other external things, we always been able to defeat that when we were together. When we're against each other by political force and propaganda, and you below that, and I'm not giving no men no coochie because Trump is the president.
Oh yes,
I heard about that. Oh shit, I heard about that, Dad. Why you bringing that up? I heard about that, Dad.
Coochie strike.
A coochie strike.
A coochie strike.
Somebody you have never met in your life and will never meet. The very fact that you have never met any one of these people and they dictate your life, you still holding on to a little bit of slave mentality. You know, you got to let that go. And it's tough. I understand. I understand for those who are going through a period in their life and they don't want to let go because you got to free yourself open to what's next. And you don't know what's next because you have to create what's next step by step by step. Sort of like they say all black people are 2 checks away from being fucking homeless. Do you know how much magic we create every 2 weeks? Because that's what keeps us sharp. We have to create the magic in real time. When you get lazy and you hire a hog, your magic dissipates.
Don't work, right? It dissipates.
It don't work the same.
Magic.
You gotta have, sometimes you gotta have that, like, yo, I gotta get out here and sell these shirts, or I'm gonna have to get out here and do this. I got to do magic. And then when it happens, it's only there because of that sequence. Now you got to create a whole new sequence of magic through urban alchemy to solve the next problem and the next problem. If you want these politicians to solve your problems, then you should be out picking cotton. A lot of people got them emails today too about report to your next slave plantation. Yeah, all that shit.
They got triggered. They got real triggered. Yeah.
Yeah, they got triggered.
Oh man.
False expectations appear real.
Yes.
I'm like, are y'all not tired of being in fear every month? Like this is the end of the Jason months. Like, let's just give fear back. Let's go into 2025 grabbing our testicular fortitude and what.
Let me say this before I get to the next question. We're gonna do about two more. Not only did we have this white supremacist president, and some people say he is whatever. I'm just saying that to say that. But we had him during the toughest time in our life, the COVID era, where if you're gonna do some shit, it's the perfect time to do it.
Absolutely.
The country's under lockdown. The country's already under lockdown.
Right.
If you that bad of a guy, nigga, do what you gonna do during the lockdown. You could do all kinds of shit.
Right. FEMA camp, roundups. Right. Everybody home.
You can do everything.
Yeah.
Trump was there during the worst we've ever seen it. And we survived it. Not only did we survive it, a lot of people came up. A lot of people
gas prices was good. Money was flowing. A lot of things.
They just started doing the food deliveries. It was like the early stage of that. So you was like, you know what I mean? Like, it was lit.
We're not going to be good. We're going to be great. And it is not that we're going to be great. We are great. So we don't have to wait to be great. We are great right now. So because
Thank you.
we are great, we were great, and because we were great, we will be great. Because we will be great, we are great, and it keeps going. Past, present, future. It keeps running into each other. Oh my God, this is beautiful. Let's get to the next question, family. Dot talked about Wait, hold up. I'm so hype. I can't. Okay, let's get to this question. The question is, can you speak a little bit about the power of the tongue? So many people who are afraid are speaking the most horrible stuff. Dot, red and dot, the things coming out people's mouths. The tongue is so powerful. It's so powerful. It'll get a woman hooked. It'll get a man hooked if the woman does the right thing. It creates reality. It'll heal. You kiss a boo-boo. Mommy kisses the boo-boo and it's healed.
Yes.
It does the tongue, the lips, it does all types of things. And we use it. And they're using it for horrible things right now. Talk about the tongue, y'all, please.
Right. Like A.A. Rashid said, the sword, right?
Yes.
Sword, which gives you the word and whatnot. And going back to the earlier thing about all is mental, right? But you're not supposed to say everything that's on your mind and whatnot. You know what I'm talking about? And it really, really, really harkens back to the show that we did last week where we were talking about your magnetic field and how important it is to charge it up, to carry the copper, to have the stones, to even meditate on the quote unquote Plato's spheres and whatnot. Because when you have a compromised auric field, then you start to hear things. That's when suggestions come through. That's when you get that voice that's telling you to do things and whatnot that you know that's not you speaking to you and whatnot. That's when you get these, you feel like something is on you. You're getting these quote unquote STDs, spiritually transmitted diseases. And you tend to start saying things and you tend to start feeling certain types of ways when you're not protected. You need protection. You need to be protected up. When I get on this internet, I'm not only prayed up, I'm protected up because this is where a lot of that shit is coming through these screens and these phones and whatnot.
Yes.
You have to stay away. People are sleeping with their phones. You know, they're doing a lot of things. So to see people, you know, wigging out and speaking fear into existence, that is a reality that they're creating, first of all, because you cannot speak my reality into my quote unquote magnetic fear, my field and whatnot. I control my reality. It's built within it. I don't care if somebody's standing next to me, right, and they're exuding all type of emotions. If I'm not saying it, and if I'm not agreeing with it, and if I don't have faith in what someone is saying, it don't have nothing to do with my reality. People, please stop cursing yourselves. False, that fear shit is real. You are magnifying or magnetizing negativity towards you. You are welcoming these negative spirits and entities and whatnot to descend upon you by just speaking. You reek of when you're going through fear. There's a certain smell that you reek. The cortisol lets off a certain pheromone that these entities are attracted to, and they're eating on you like Metroid and whatnot. That is a video game. But yeah, get off of that shit, man. Get off of it. Start listening to positive media. That's why the media is dead. You know what I mean? I woe onto those that listen to Rachel Maddow, Fox 5 and CNN and things of that nature, and not Urban XTV, Motor Ledger 444, Black Magic 363, because you would not be in the fear paradigm if you were able to tap into these platforms.
And that's a fact. And so to add on to that, words have color tones to them. And so when you speaking of negativity, I can tell what chakra you are currently resonating from because of the color tone of the words that's spoken. And so when your words elevate up into that heart chakra and above, your color tone, which your magnetic field changes, because this is what you're speaking into your existence, as Red just said. And so because they have so many people vibrating on fear, you know, the red and orange chakras are in their sexual, perverted state. This is what they're speaking into their auric field. And this is what draws into the auric field all of the entities who vibrate on that frequency and latch on and begin to feed from a parasitic standpoint off that. So your words are very important. More important than that are your thoughts. But at least your thoughts, you can begin to run through a series of filters. But the minute you speak them,
Speak it.
now them thoughts have the ability to take physical shape in
Right.
your reality. Now
Right.
you're screwing up. And so I used to speak about that in Hip Hop Decoded about how important you speak, the words you speak as an MC are very, very important. Very important indeed.
Right.
Oh man. Well, I mean, what a man. We're gonna do one last question. I want to thank everybody. Thank you for your patience. I came late tonight. Listen, family. I just got I'm getting over a cold. My son got sick. He ended up giving it to me because he all up under me. So he ended
Absolutely.
up giving it to
Be
me.
like that.
My lady's 9 months pregnant. So I'm dealing with a 9-month pregnant woman. You know what I'm saying? And
Oh, baby.
I'm trying to do this show. So I got a lot going on
I got you.
right now. So thank you. Y'all see I'm like my screen, I'm off camera and stuff like that. Thank you for your patience and your understanding. I mean, this is what I needed tonight.
Yeah.
I needed this tonight. Oh, this is gonna I'm gonna be like a crackhead tonight off of this show. Beautiful. Make sure y'all support these two brothers. Let's get to this one last question. And I'm glad they asked this last question. And shout out to everybody who gave super chats, but I gotta do one more question, then I gotta get out of here, y'all. And shout out to everybody. We still got 4,400 people in the building. Last question is Red and Black Dot. Is this a make or break moment for the Black collective to unite and organize or fall apart? And they're referring to the second Trump era.
Let me answer that first quick,
Yes.
Rich, and Red, and then I'll give it to you. There is no united anything.
Right.
Ooh,
There is
right.
no-
I didn't know you was gonna say that.
That's
I
all.
know that.
There is
Right.
we're united by consciousness now, which a lot of people are not going to like this. This ain't got nothing to do with white people, black people, Chinese people.
Uh-oh.
Everybody has a conscious community. The
do.
Indian, the Chinese,
Facts.
the Mexican. Everybody has what is called a conscious community. It's a collective energy that's going to form above all of this. We gotta unite, and there's never going to be a time when every black people see things. I'm getting blocked by people I know my whole life, and you talking about unite? Let all of that stuff. That's all. The new paradigm shift timeline is about uniting on consciousness and higher principles that have nothing to do with skin shade. And a lot of y'all gonna have a hard time dealing with that. But that's my stance on that. I'm trying to identify auric fields now that understand Earth is asking us to save it. I'm trying to understand the auric field that Earth is trying to tell us to cut out the toxicity of so many components that have been holding us back. And if you're willing to do that, we're going to have to rock. It's the only way we're going to make it.
Oh, man.
Mm.
Red, close it out, Red. Wow.
Man.
Oh, yeah. Tough one. Yeah.
Man.
Brilliant, Dot. Close it out.
Yeah, definitely brilliant. Once again, like Black Dot is saying, this whole concept of unity, it's an outdated paradigm when it comes to that. Organization is a whole different thing, though.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? We have the tools, we have the wherewithal, and we got the platforms to organize. We have 4,600 in the chat right now. That is an organization. You feel me? We have more people in the chat than some organizations, global organizations, have in their member files and ranks and whatnot. We can all agree to a universal principle. We all can agree that we're living towards universal law, regardless of your school of thought or knowledge. It doesn't impress me anymore.
Yeah.
What is your character? You know what I'm saying?
Character.
What does your integrity look like? How are you treating your children and whatnot? Things like that matter the most to me right now.
Yes.
You got to unify with your lower and your higher self. That's the biggest unification principle that I think is the unification of man's lower and their higher. That's a personal thing. You know what I'm talking about? And when you're able to unite that or perfectly balance it and whatnot, then you'll be able to organize and do the things that need to be done. What this 4 years will bring, if it looks like what it's looking like with this Christian nationalism and this whole quote unquote conservative, what they call progressive. No, what's the thing that JD Vance, his party is So he has a certain party that he stands behind. Populist, this
Oh.
whole populist wave and whatnot, is going to help our people practice some more discipline, right? Versus the reality that would existed in the Kamala administration, where discipline is not the order of the day. They're not talking about family values. They're not talking about quote unquote men standing up and doing what needs to be done, being the man of the house, getting back. This was they built that whole Trump campaign, and they were riding heavy on the masculinity because he took over the quote unquote red pill movement. He took over the bro movement, that quote unquote, that is millions of them and whatnot, and they're very big in the podcast world. Joe Rogan is the big homie of that whole movement. Okay, Theo Vaughn, Joe Rogan, Andrew Tate, and all of them. They're dealing with, well, even if it's toxic masculinity, they're still talking about being a man. You know what I'm saying? So for the men out there who's standing on something, you are going to be better if you have some integrity, if you fix your character, and if you stand for some type of goddamn values and whatnot. If you restore value and you stop blowing in the wind and you stop letting these people make you grab your ankles and whatnot because you just want to, you just want to be down and whatnot. That's not new paradigm.
Tampon, wait, hold up. Tampon Tim type shit?
Tampon Tim type shit. Tampon Tim activities and whatnot. Nah, we not going for that right there. That paradigm collapsed and whatnot. Huh?
Oh, shit.
So because our sisters need to see real men. They need to see strong men again. They need to see strong men. Even though Donald Trump is what he is, I'm not pro-Trump, but he is considered a strong man. You understand? That's what America needed and whatnot, and that's why the world, they got the whole every leader in Africa damn near was tweeting him. Everybody in the Middle East, Hamas wants peace. I wrote down everything that happened. Hamas wants peace. China said, "Nah, we like America."
Eric
Adams was like, "Fuck these migrants."
He cut the whole migrant program in a day.
The whole program
in one day.
In one day, or for one tweet, one phone call with the big homie. He's straightening people up because we need strong men to do some strong things and whatnot. No disrespect. I'm not making this a gender thing. I am not making it a gender thing. But men got to pull themselves up from their bootstraps. That's some Aquarian age shit right there. You know what I'm talking about? Us getting our shit together and whatnot. So for the women that support us and believe in us, support us in this next 4 years. Know that the warriors are gonna step up. We not gonna let nothing happen to y'all. We not gloating. We not dunking on you. We not trying to dunk on y'all and make posters out of y'all. Nah, we like lock in. We got this. Lock in. You know what I mean? We so locked in that the rednecks are gonna respect us. Y'all don't got nothing to worry about. The MAGAs fuck with us. They looking at them other niggas as food and whatnot. They spinning the block on them.
Yep.
For the fathers, for the family men, for the ones who stand on principle and whatnot, all of y'all are good. Don't ever think that anything wrong is finna happen to you in these 4 years and whatnot. Stand on business, attract your queen if you don't have one, and build your family out, man. And then when we able to do that and get strong, then we could get our own community. Because I want a compound.
Absolutely.
But I don't want no neighbors for 5 miles.
No, absolutely. I
love you niggas, but I could visit y'all. I don't want no neighbors 5 miles. Yeah.
I love it.
Yo, hey, let me just say this to Claude. A brilliant show, y'all. Me and Red, you know, we're on here and we're talking about this thing, and Red is talking about masculinity, and there's no separating divine masculinity from divine femininity when you really know what you're dealing with. And the divine masculinity always brings out the divine femininity. And when I'm at my peak, at my highest, I notice my girl, she's able to be at her peak, at her highest.
Yes.
Femininity and do what she does. So we all promote family right here. If you know me, if you know Dot, me and Red, my family gets together with Red family on a lot of occasions, and we get together and we celebrate. and we express that joy amongst each other. Our sons hang with each other and able to to chill with each other and whatever and have a good time with each other. So you right here on stage, we're not three single niggas out here trying to get some pussy and trying to go crazy and we happy Trump is in office so we could be passport bros. Nigga, I've been in a relationship. Listen, I've been in a relationship for 19 years with the same woman since 2005. We strong.
Yeah.
I'm ready to have a child right now. My daughter. I'm going to bring the divine feminine into this realm, family. We represent the family structure. We don't represent tampon Tim. We don't represent Tim. And not to say I don't represent Trump either. But what I do know is he was the better character in this movie to crash the plane, like Dot said.
That's the fact.
Crash. He's going to crash the motherfucker. Whether he has a parachute or not, ego should not get involved. Well, he's going to be safe. Well, he's not going to crash with it. Whatever. I don't give a fuck. Just as long as he does the job. The first thing they said, RFK said he's going after the FDA. I love it. Let's do it. Let's see what happens. But like I said, regardless, my people done been through the worst in this land that we are indigenous to, and we survivors. Like Pac said, we gonna do what we gotta do, and we gonna do it great.
I guarantee that. I guarantee that.
Yes.
That outside of some personal tragedy or something, we will be here doing what we do. Come on, guys. What we do?
It's what we do, Doc.
It's what we do.
It's what we do.
What we
beautiful.
do.
Signing out, Black Dot, Brother Rich, Radiohead Rich, Red Pillar. We'll see you next time. Classic
Real quick.
show. Yes, sir. Go ahead, bro.
Me and Blue got something coming up on the 22nd. This is gonna be our birthday celebration to the family and whatnot. Real quick.
Yeah.
It is exactly what we are talking about right now. Solar, the rise of the super sapiens, Solar 25 and whatnot. Let me drop the link real quick.
Yeah.
And I want to say thank you to everyone for your time tonight. It was a powerful demonstration. The fact that we're able to speak to the people in real time and let them know there's nothing to worry about. This is time to rejoice. We woke up in this new paradigm. Man, we want to just give thanks, yo. We want to be thankful for everything. Love and light to the family. Love and light to everyone. And we will see you very, very soon. Peace.
Peace.
Dot, real quick, I shared the link from Red Pill.
Thank you, my brother.
This might be the best lecture, the best presentation they did all year. I'm just feeling that vibe from Red and Blue. Make sure you're signed to that. Dot, they want you to shout the channel, and I know your Patreon is popping right now, Dot. Let the people know about that before we go also, Dot.
Okay, like I said, the website to purchase a shirt or anything that we sell is shopurbanx.com.
Yeah.
My YouTube channel is UrbanX TV, and every Monday and Thursday, we have a membership now that is off the hook, where we teach classes and things of that nature. That's at urbanx.nyc, urbanx.nyc. And I appreciate the opportunity to come on and speak, because this was heavy on my mind, Brother Rich, to make sure we talk to the people that we rock with. And because they take our temperature more than you think they do. Mm-hmm. And so when they didn't see us crash out on no bullshit, then they know, okay, all right, let's calm this thing down. So this was our way to come out on our podiums and speak to and address our people and say, we got this. We're not going nowhere. We're going to be here. So once again, love, light, and respect to all. Appreciate you.
Family, I see you probably Monday or Tuesday. We out of here. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you, Dot. Thank you, Red. Peace.
Peace.
All right.